Welcome, folks. I almost missed the time at the startup, and look at that. Hey, welcome everybody to a Friday Fun Day. My name is Rob Appell, presenting to you from Stitchin Heaven, from their YouTube channel. Although I'm out in California, and I guess I always stumble over that because I am so blessed to have the world's greatest job. That's right. Not only do I get to produce YouTube videos, but I have two different fun studios, two huge families I get to work with, and I get to be in California and in, now what's going on? The vet is calling me to let me know the meds are ready for my dog. I'm going to have to go ahead and cancel that real quick. But one of the things we'll be talking about today is technology. Let's hope that works. It's one of the things we'll be doing in our grateful list today. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see all the things that were going on. Hopefully I didn't lose all of you in the video. I'll check the monitor across the room. And yes, it is that it's the monthly time for me to give the flea medicine to the dog. Folks, as a reminder, if you have pets out there, just couldn't resist. And I do apologize. I did just have my afternoon coffee early. I was feeling quite tired, and I was sitting there doing a lot of computer work for the last couple of hours, and I just started drifting off, and I thought, for all of our benefit, I better have a caffeine. So at any rate, while you're coming in, let me get to the comments. I am totally behind here. When I looked up and saw it was 2 o'clock. Oh, you're already logging in. This is great. Fantastic. ACJ is out there. I see Amy in Vermont and Sandra in Florida. This is great. Yeah, look at the colors. So that's part of it. Part of it is we have awesome colors, but let's just start today with our grateful list. So folks, if you're coming to us for one of your first times, I am a quilt maker. These are live Friday videos, kind of a follow-up, a weekly recap. We also do recorded videos on the YouTube channel. We have over 48,000 subscribers. If you're not one of them, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow, helps spread the love of quilting across the community. Also, and I should apologize, we have a wonderful Facebook group. It's a private group, Rob Appell Facebook, and I'm apologizing because I last week was so focused on the Sewing Expo, I neglected to check, and there were many of you waiting to get into the group. So this morning or yesterday or whenever it was, I let several of you into the group. I apologize for keeping you waiting. I can see you there with your faces against the window. Open, 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 open. So anyways, that's what was going on. Now, with the grateful list, this is something I like to do. Part of the Sew Well is sewing and wellness. Not a therapist. Spent many a time, many hours with them, many dollars with them. Because I'm a recovering alcoholic, and working with my hands and sharing the love of sewing is what makes me keep going each and every day. So finding a moment in each day, I think it's very important to focus on the things we're grateful for. So please feel free to comment your grateful list. It's more important than recognizing it, I do believe, is writing it down or sharing your grateful things with others. So let's go through the grateful list, and I'm going to intermix today's video some of the fun things that have gone on through the week into the grateful list. So this is just kind of a fun way of keeping up. And so technology, when it works, yes. I got a new iPhone. Let's see if I touch this. The production I always do, I've got an iPad hidden over here behind the cool little quilt kit. And I have iPhone technology, and I use iPhones all around the room and the iPad for the live video. This is how we'll do our New Year's Day sewing event as well. But I just upgraded the iPhone. And I also got an Apple Watch because I wanted to be slick like Dick Tracy and the Jetsons. And I'm also working, this is part of the wellness, folks, I'm working to try to keep better focus. One of the things I've really struggled with throughout my whole life is keeping my focus. And I find that with my cell phone, there are so many distractions. And so I've programmed the watch to only tell me what's necessary. And now I'm learning to trust that there isn't more things happening in the phone. I hope none of you were this way, but I found myself neurotically checking my phone only to find there was nothing going on there, but the amount of time I was not getting sewing done because I was checking the phantom phone was starting to drive me crazy. So with all of that, that means the old phone is now the overhead camera, which means we now get a better overhead shot as well, because the old phones were old phones. This is the view from an older iPhone 6. It's okay, but you can see that the resolution and the quality and the colors and everything are fantastic. So thank you for noticing that right away. I saw that that was one of the comments coming through. Super awesome. So technology, and the fun part is it took me about a week and a half. I had the technology delivered last week while I was in Texas for the expo. I wanted to have it so that I could film the expo with the camera and the phone, but I didn't get it hooked up right. So I had a blissful week. I didn't think anybody was reaching out to me, and then when I got all the emails reconnected, I spent 2 days answering those. But at any rate, I've been having fun with that. So technology, number 1 on the grateful list. When it works, technology is awesome. Number 2, the Sewing Expo. And for the Sewing Expo, oh, I'm sorry, technology, before I move on. I did mention the mystery sew-along. So New Year's Day, if you haven't heard, we do a mystery quilt sew-along. Myself and Tiffany Hayes are the instructors, and we're having a lot of fun with our Team Rob and Team Tiffany shirts. Here, I'll give you the turnaround, the modeling. This is a Carefree Quilter shirt. Tiffany wears her Passion for Precision shirt. My former friend, the quilting, Andrew Lee, the combat quilter, he apparently wears a Team Tiffany shirt. But all of this is fun. The registration and the sewing event is free. It's a YouTube, and this is why the technology is important, and I'm grateful to have it working a month ahead of time. And so yes, on stitchinheaven.com, you can register for free, and then you can pick which team you want to be on. And folks, let me just say this. You can pick a different team shirt than the quilt kit if you choose to participate with a quilt kit. The thing about the shirt that's so fun is you're choosing what kind of quilter you are or aspire to be, either very precise or a little bit less than. But the quilt kits, Tiffany has a beautiful batik quilt kit that is in black, Tiffany blue, and pink, and then mine will be in patriotic red, white, and blue. So you can also choose quilt kits to sew along, and then we'll have cutting instructions coming out right beforehand, as well as a link, and everything will be live on YouTube on New Year's Day. So I just want to make sure I got that announcement out there while we're moving through with technology. Also this week, we had the Glue and Go, the fabric collage. I love having YouTube. You can watch and learn your sewing right there, whether you're, technology on your phone, if you're on your computer or whatnot. This here is a very low-tech quilt kit, but it's a super fun project. This is what I was calling my Glue and Go. This was very inspired by Seth Apter. He's a mixed media artist, but a new designer for Free Spirit fabrics. And I interviewed him. That video is available on our YouTube channel. And he was talking about layering and mixed media. So this was really fun. I took some fabric that my friend Scott Hansen, Blue Nickel Studios, created. It's a batik as well, and I just glue sticked them down. So this was my inspirational project that I got started on. And then, like I said, we did a tutorial. That was last week's project. And I don't want to forget that we had the week before was how to make the Blue Willow kit. And on the Blue Willow quilt kit, that one was really fun because we were giving away this Blue Willow quilt box kit itself. It's all different shades of blue, super fun. It's got a really fun sashing with checkerboard cornerstones that I teach in that video. But about once a month, I like to create a video where I use the quilt kit to teach you on camera how to follow along the instructions, but then I give the kit away. And all you have to do is comment win, but comment win on this video, not on today's video, but on the video for Blue Willow, and you could be a quilt kit winner too. So that's all the technology-based stuff. Now we're moving into the Sewing Expo, which I thought was amazing. Oh, Katrina, I'm sorry. I see right now a question about when will kits be mailed out. Kits, I assume you're speaking of for the New Year's Day sew-along. We're just being finished up. I wouldn't be surprised if they go in the mail in the middle of next week sometime. Don't quote me on that because I would hate to disappoint, but they'll definitely be there on time. The deadline to order and guarantee we'll get you your kit in time was December 1st, but we're cutting these things in mass quantities. We've sold over, oh, by the way, yes, we've sold over 220 kits, but there are only 3 kit sales differences between myself and Tiffany. So folks, I'm not a beggar, but listen, 3 kits is not at all a win. I need way more shirts and kits on my team sold than Tiffany so that I can have bragging rights. Loser makes tacos is the situation. Now, Tiffany makes great tacos, and I want her to lose. You see what I'm saying? So this is where we're after. I need you all out there buying more Rob kits and more Rob shirts so that by New Year's Day, we can have a full landslide. I mean, 3 kits difference is nowhere near a landslide. We appreciate Tiffany's teaching, but come on, folks. We all know that what we've got to do now at this point, right? Where there's no way we're going to let Tiffany win bragging rights over myself. I mean, please help me out, right? And now I'm begging. I guess I am a beggar, aren't I? Okay, so we were moving on, and we were into Sewing Expo, and Sewing Expo was awesome. At Sewing Expo, we had a great time because I got to put out the New World's fabrics in the Benartex booth, and that was pretty slick because we had 2 booths there where we were demonstrating. And then here's just a couple more fun pictures. You can see the Dupree's Diamond quilt, also made with Shadow Blush from Benartex. And then here is just a fun photo that I actually took in my studio, and I've put up a link. Folks, if you would like to get the New World's fabrics, you can get them directly at stitchinheaven.com. Now that Expo has ended, the fabrics are available to ship out, and we have a few of the pre-cuts, at least we did a few days ago when I left Texas. We had a few of the pre-cuts available still, and we have the pre-cut kit. So I have the Dazzling Dots, there is the Double Tumbler Project, and the Bird of Paradise project. And let me just come to you there and talk about, it's kind of a fun technology thing as well, but you know at Stitchin Heaven we do the kits and we call them pre-cut, or maybe we should say ready to sew. Each of my kits are at their base level, so the strips or blocks or rectangles or triangles are cut for the background patchwork, and if there is applique, it's been pre-fused and laser cut to the proper shapes so that you have what you need. But my patterns are still fully included in the kits. Therefore, you can either make another one, or you can expand to it, or if you ever had a boo-boo while cutting or something like that. Of course, I don't know why you would have a boo-boo with cutting a laser cut, because you really don't need scissors or rotary cutter. But nonetheless, they're just really awesome. And it was really a blessing to be in the booth and meet all the folks at Expo out at Sewing Heaven, Stitchin Heaven Sewing Expo last weekend. You know, for me, and I hope I don't sound too cheesy for lack of a better term, but there was a group of gals that showed up last year. And of course, they were in our, I'm just going to say, elderly crowd, and they were dressed to the T with all of their Christmas decorations, and they called me their girlfriend, or they said they were my girlfriends and all of this stuff, and we had so much fun together. And they were back this year, folks. And it's just so special to me to be able to gather with all of you and fellowship with all of you. And when we have these fun and special connections, and of course the gal that came back this year, she had all new Christmas outfits on and was blinged up with the stuff in the hair and the nails and it's just so fun. And this is why we get together, and this is why we celebrate. So anyways, it was great to be in person with everybody, but it was also super cool to get to see the kits, the fabrics, to get to see the fabrics in person, have the bolts. So everything is now available. Stitchin Heaven is the only place you can get it for a while. So make sure you grab it if you're interested. It was just super, super cool to get to have, like I said, the New Worlds there available for everybody. And then 2 more stories about Expo. I've got another photo somewhere here for you. Here it is. Look at this. Okay, now real quick, that's a tattoo, and some of you know that I'm learning to tattoo. I find it's important as a professional artist to constantly be working on other forms of art. You know I love the art form of tattooing. So yes, almost a year ago, because this is the month of my birthday, I tattooed myself on my 50th birthday last year. And so at any rate, that tattoo that I just showed you, let me show you again, was a tattoo that I did on a gal. She's a West Coast, but she's almost the whole country, it seems like, Arrow and Kangaroo sales rep, and she was in the Arrow booth selling chairs during Expo, and I made a silly comment that if she sold at least 10 chairs, I'd give her a free tattoo. Well, before the end of one day, she'd sold 28 chairs. And I mean, Valerie's a good salesperson, but the chairs were selling themselves. I mean, we had that incredible furniture, super comfortable, the little cabinets inside and stuff. But nonetheless, so at the end of the day, I said, well, I'm a man of my word. So the other highlight for me of Expo was actually getting to meet somebody else in the sewing world. She really wanted this tattoo to represent her family, and then I was able to do that for her. And so that was really, really fun. And Valerie, thank you for wearing my mark for the rest of your life, and thank you for selling so many Aero chairs. They were awesome. And so that was a highlight from Expo. Last highlight from Expo, but is actually the third on the grateful list. Here it comes, folks, the Daisy quilt. Now this is the Daisy quilt. I couldn't really show anybody before because this is a quilt using my fabric line, but I actually did end up using, this is an applique of my friend and the president of our company. His name is Mark, and so this is why a hug from Mark was so important. The story behind this fun quilt, folks, this week was that Daisy is the only dog that I know that doesn't care for me. She hasn't liked me since day one. I came on a little strong, apparently, believe it or not. And so at any rate, she now barks every time the YouTube videos or the Friday Fun Day lives come on and her mom and dad are watching. She goes tearing through the house, barking at the television set. And so I thought maybe I could win her over by making her a quilt. But as you saw, I used some of the New Worlds fabrics and the rest of the Benartex fabrics in that. And the real importance for me is Mark is our president of our company because he is wicked smart. But it is our job as a quilting community to help him understand the love and blessings that fall behind quilting. He sees it, but he's really now starting to get it. And I'm under the impression that Mark had not received a quilt yet. And so if you've ever received or given a quilt away, you know exactly what I'm building towards. And so I hung the Daisy quilt. Let's get that picture up again. I hung the Daisy quilt in the booth at Expo. And as he walked by, we had a really fun interaction. And when he realized it was his quilt, he just came over and gave me the biggest hug. And Mark really is more of a handshaker than a hugger. And so to me, that was exactly why we make quilts, because he understood the time commitment, the value, the energy, the design, the thoughtfulness. And I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm bragging, but this is what we all do when we make quilts for others. And so I had such a fun time making this quilt and not sharing it with anybody because I had to keep it under wraps until the Expo, because it was part of the launch and it was Mark's Christmas present as well. So anyways, that was really one of my highlights in part number 3 of the Grateful List. And then part number 4 of the Grateful List, folks, is Santa's workshop. And that means that tomorrow and the next day, Sunday, I will be in my workshop, not sewing related, and I will be working on my Christmas presents this year. If you have not heard in the years past, my whole family participates in a Secret Santa where each of the 10 of us draw one name and we're responsible for one awesome gift for one family member. And it's just the most wonderful way, in my opinion, to put our energy and our money into Christmas. Our kids, who are now 18 and 20, of course, participate. They do a great job. We remember each gift every year we've been given and or created, and I generally try to make something with my hands because I love doing that. And so at any rate, I've got my plans. I can't say what I'm doing, but I promise to have photos after Christmas for everybody. But yes, I'm really, really grateful that I get to go into Santa's workshop over the weekend and hopefully come out covered in holiday cheer. So that's what I'm really excited about. At any rate, let's go ahead and bounce into a couple of more fun announcements, folks. Make sure if you have things you're grateful for that you are either writing them down in the comments. Of course, you're always welcome to email them to me. Remember, writing them down makes them more powerful, so let's do that as a community. And then, okay, as we're moving through the announcements, as I said, whoops, this is a fun one, and I better show this off right away. Mr. Socks remembered this year already, and here they are. Like I said, I'm a December birthday, and our friend Carl has sent me a package of shark socks, and I think these ones are amazing. If you can't tell, they're like tattoo sharks eating hearts in the perfect color to match. Of course, there are a couple of other beautiful ones in the set. Carl knows how much I love my socks, and at any rate, it was just really fun to receive them in the mail, but I wasn't quite sure. So this is early this morning, coming back from a board meeting. Okay, this is a private video. If this goes out anywhere, I know where it came from. Because I got this at the mailbox, and it feels like it could be socks. And then I got a happy birthday Rob from somebody yesterday, and I'm just wondering if I'm starting to piece all of this together. There's no name. There's no info, but it is socks. And there's Sea Socks, Sea Life socks, and I think these came from Mr. Socks. So at any rate, until I know better, I'm just going to start recording clues. I don't want anyone to feel guilty in case they forgot my love for socks and they sent these socks. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Socks? So I don't know who sent these. They look incredibly comfortable, and I'm very appreciative. So anyways, we'll find out. Carl, if this is you, thank you very much. I mean, I can only assume, right? So anyways, that was really fun. I'm glad I didn't have to guess any further because that would have been quite embarrassing. And I was actually checking a few of the comments while that video was playing, and I will be answering the other questions I see at the end of today's little live feed. But one of the comments was asking about, have we picked the winners? And I picked the winner at each end of each month, but and I'm drawing a blank. I'm super embarrassed right now, but there is one kit that hasn't yet been claimed. And so next week what I'm going to do is I will have a list and a slide that has the winners' names. The winners are chosen in the video that the kit is selected from, and then the winner is asked in that comment, it's notified in that comment, then I ask you to email me your address so I can mail you the kit. And so yes, one of the 3 kits has not actually been claimed yet. And so yes, we will have, but I don't remember everybody's name and everything like that right at the moment. And of course we're live and you know. So next week I will make myself a note. I will make an announcement for the kit winners and make sure, because I do need one of my kit winners out there. This one of course hasn't been announced yet. And so we need to make sure that those kits get off to the kit winners. And what I was just going to say, speaking of amazing kits, I don't know if you're all aware, but we also do incredible block of the months. I just found this out today. I was talking to Karen. She's one of our ringleaders. If you didn't meet her in her Santa suit, she's pretty terrific. But Toes in the Sand is a block of the month that's starting up pretty soon. And this is a really, really, really cool kind of, I want to call it a collaboration. So it's a Tula Pink, all Tula Pink fabric block of the month, but it uses the Jaybird Designs Hex and More ruler to create, and I was really studying this. These are some really cool patchwork triangles that do not have any Y seams. And then if I know my friends, that's Angela Walters quilting we're seeing there in the background on this project, and it's just phenomenal. So I'm really excited, folks. This is the block of the month that we have available, and I'm not sure if you were all made aware of that. We do like about a monthly email that goes out with all of them listed. That one includes the backing and everything. And again, it's all Tula Pink fabrics. I think it's about $34 a month. And it looks like it's super cool patchwork. I know Julie Herman from Jaybird Designs. She's super slick with her engineering and her sewing techniques. But I was looking at these blocks. She's got me kind of bamboozled a little bit here. I might have to do this block of the month to see what I can learn from Julie and that ruler, because there's a couple of those that I'm having a hard time figuring out how we're going to do them without Y seams. But she's promised us no Y seams, and I think that looks pretty amazing. So, and of course, with fabrics that look like that, right? Is that going to be amazing? So anyways, that's pretty exciting. Don't forget, we always have our weekly flash sale. You can load up anytime you buy more than $99 worth of product from us. We have free shipping, and I want to let you all know that this is a highlight, folks. Not only do we have the wool mats up there, but yes, the purple thing for almost half off. Look at that, $2.95. This is the common tool that all quilters eat while quilting. I'm not exactly sure why the purple plastic is so nutritious, but if you've ever been around a group of quilters, you'll notice that at least 25% of them are gnawing on them while they're working on their quilting. So apparently it's excellent for nutrition and dietary needs. Make sure you pick up your purple fangs by the dozen. They're consumable, so you wouldn't want to just have one laying around. Hey, at that price, you could have one in every corner of the sewing room until they are chewed on. But yeah, it's pretty funny. If you actually haven't ever noticed, the purple thing is often dangling out of quilters' mouths because it is useful for pushing seams and turning corners and all of that stuff. I also love a good stiletto, and my stilettos I make are a little heavier than what I should be putting in my mouth. So at any rate, I'm going to stop there. and go down and check out some comments. And at any rate, yeah, if you have any questions for me at this point, please feel free to type them in. I'm going to run through some of these questions real quick as I can. Oh my goodness, there's so many comments. Thank you folks for all being here today. This is fantastic. I should mention, because I put up this post earlier, I do have a retreat coming up in August. That will be covering a lot of the techniques I was showing in that dog quilt and the bird of paradise quilt and all of that. And I also put that up just long enough to stall to get up to the top of my comments here. And all right, let's see if I've got any questions. Yeah, I see about the comments on the flea and the heart meds. Yeah, my poor dog got an allergy to fleas a little while ago. Unfortunately, had an antihistamine he could take. It was great. I love to see the grateful things coming in. This is wonderful, folks. Oh, good, Carl, you made it. Did you see your socks? I love that. Nice. I see some folks with their tech. This is great. Oh, yeah, that's something else I would love. If you are a Apple Watch or smartwatch fan, send me an email. Let me know what I should be learning about this. There's so many things they do. I found two things that I thought was pretty slick already. I can control my remote sound system with the volume on my watch if it's playing through everything. That's pretty cool. And while driving from the from Stitchin Heaven to the airport at 6 a.m. after Expo, I was pretty tired, and I always use my phone for navigation through the car Apple Play. So the rental cars, they're pretty slick that way. But that morning while I was driving, and now I noticed that the watch will vibrate right before you miss the turn. And so that was pretty cool. Not at 10 miles out, not at 2 miles out, but right before that turn comes up, the watch vibrates. And most of them were right-hand turns, and I thought it was really talking to me. So that was really cool. Not too bad at all. Oh, awesome. I see Jenny, ACJ got her Rob shirt and the kit. Nice. Love it, ACJ. Appreciate that. Okay, not many questions. Lots of fantastic comments. Oh, here's a great one. Are the kids coming home for Christmas? Well, yes. Actually, Braden, our son, a junior at Cal Poly, he lives here. And so we will have him and his girlfriend around. Their family's also local. And Ruby is coming home for the holidays. And then that will be her extended stay over a little while. So that's going to be really exciting to have Ruby home as well. Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to turn your yay on there, Carl. I don't know how to turn that back off. There we go. Sorry, gang. And you can see maybe I didn't have quite enough coffee. There was the drawing for the giveaways. Fantastic. We got that answered. Nice try, Jenny. I saw that. You're trying to be the winner. I see your comment, so I appreciate it. Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, it looks like we got all of our questions answered today. Really appreciate that. Again, you all being out there. Again, feel free to keep commenting or emailing your grateful thoughts. Make sure you start preparing your grateful list for next week. It's okay to have repeats on your grateful list. I almost did today, as a matter of fact. So on the very first grateful list, you met Winston, my Chihuahua, who I absolutely love. I think I've got kind of like this Otis and Garfield situation going on. Both of our pets are very, very old. We have a large orange cat named Charlie, who's pretty much lived outside most of his life, but over the last couple of years, he's decided the corner of our bed was a safe place. Well, this morning, Winston was on the middle of the bed and Charlie was almost on the middle of the bed. So they're slowly getting closer and closer together, which is quite cute and fun, especially because Winston is smaller than Charlie the cat. And so at any rate, I was also again grateful for my pets this morning. Not so much that I had hair everywhere, but that when I touch these beasts, the warmth and the energy and just that aha, that flows through us. So yes, our pets and are very important in our life out there. So anyways, that's always great. Fantastic. Okay, folks, don't forget, make sure you get your new worlds while you can at Stitchin Heaven. They'll be in all the other local quilt shops probably around February. We have the wonderful kits. I promise to let you know the winners of the last few months of our kits on the giveaways from the drawings. I have a hiccup coming, so I better sign off pretty soon. And again, thank you all for being here. Have a blessed weekend. We'll see you next week with another fantastic tutorial. Oh, next week's tutorial will be the Bird of Paradise quilt kit. Let me show you that one more time. I guess I just don't want to leave you all today. I'm loving spending time with you. But yes, that is the tutorial planned right now. I'm getting it ready to post to YouTube this afternoon, so it'll be ready on Wednesday. So make sure you get your kit if you'd like to follow along. Like I said, it's mostly all no, actually that one is all pre-cut for you. So you probably could be sewing on that one by the end of the week with the video if you'd like to. So again, thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. I am feeling incredibly blessed right now. I know all the folks at Stitchin Heaven are as well. The expo was just amazing to have all of you joining us. If you weren't there with us this year, make sure you join us next year. It's that first weekend in December, and it is absolutely